What's up, everybody? Randy Gordon Gap, GapGames.com. This is Need for Speed Unbound. Got another compliment today. Saw my granny today after work. And she's like, "Why are you looking a little buff?" I exercise every day, man. Just about every day. Now I gotta make sure I'm fit with it. I'm starting to get confident. People are starting to notice. Why are you looking a little buff? I think we got a few more cars to use here, and then we go to IDK. So what I've been doing lately, I've been using the Lamborghini, the Rydell's rides as the constant, and then because it's tuned for the event, and then I use, one of my other cars. I saw my Lambo truck this morning. I saw the car, King Jack, the Mercedes. I saw that one yesterday. Then I got a picture with the blue Beetle. I've been seeing all the cars I use in Need for Speed in person. ABC, always be in control. Always be in control of your car. What does that mean? Always be in control of your speed. The drifting shit, you don't have to go fast, but just gotta be in control of the car. But I decide to play a game that's worth playing. I'm not gonna sit and be cheated in the game. Anybody ever question as an adult, you playing video games, remind them that the president right now is watching, I don't know if it's today, the president is going to go to the New York Knicks game versus the Spurs to watch grown men play the game of basketball. People play the game of baseball and make big money. People play the game of soccer and make big money. People play the game of volleyball and make okay money. People play the game of golf and make big money. Long story short, game is not the issue. People watch the game of football religiously every Sunday like it's church. I don't play no video game bullshit, but then go and vote, not vote, bet their life savings on a sports game. Don't let anybody tell you gaming ain't where it's at. People argue who's the greatest of all time in the game, or pick one. The basketball game, the football game, the soccer game, a baseball game. You gonna go to the game today? Not the game. It's the mentality towards it. I get it. Everything ain't for everybody. For example, you can't pay me to sit and watch football. That's all. One of the rules is drop A, B, C. Always be in control. They are not in control. All they know is speed. Not in control. So, when you see me drive, right, you'll see my brake lights come on. That's the first sign of control. Right now, I have the gas button all the way down. But, in holding down the brake button at the same time, I control my speed. If I release the gas button, I speed up. Stuff like that, people don't get it. It's a driving game. It's no longer a racing game. Some people don't get it. Driving is a lot more than going fast. Some people can't drive. I use both Astons. I use the Beehive. I use King Chat. I use his and hers. I use Speed Force. I use Bell. I use that car I hate. I think it's just that green one I gotta use at the moment. I think there's probably one. And I think I used that. So we'll go to IDK after this one. And run that one over and over using different cars. Oh, that shit's just an extra point. But they're good. That's child exploit. Some people never watch drifting competition or seen clips or something to understand good driving. I actually want a rig set up. I don't just want a racing rig. I ain't got the extra money for it right now. Some quick, you can bring the car to a complete stop. Do it in one lane too. Racing strike. I used to play a lot of Need for Speed on ground. I said on ground. A lot of Need for Speed Underground 1 and 2. And I used to, have racing stripes on my car. Especially my first car. So you try to make it line up with the road. So they can stay centered. Some people I'll never beat. I said, when I see people through the point exploit. I'll never beat you because I passed that. Just don't do that shit anymore. Grew up. I want to look clean. So if I see my replays, like, yeah, that's right. I know they were trying to fuck me. Like, yeah, that's a clean guy. Like, for example, we can talk about a person with good handles in basketball versus a good point guard. A good point guard don't need to have good handles. Jalen Brunson versus Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving got better handles, but Jalen Brunson is a good point guard. So there's a different level to the shit. Some people just Ray for Austin. Yeah, good handles. But still going with Steve Nash as the better point guard. different levels to the shit. Some people don't get it. For example, you can always look at, if you want to know a skill difference, I say look at the kids, right? Look at a kid with good hands. Dribble, 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 dribble. Dribble, 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 dribble. Do all the dribbling, all the fancy dribbling, but didn't make any progress towards the basket. Never passed the teammates the ball. Then jack up a dumbass shot. Yeah, you got good handles, but I'll never have you as my point guard. I'll never have you as my shooting guard. Because all you know is dribble, dribble, dribble. You don't know shit else but dribble. What the fuck? So some people say they don't get it. Why, coach? I feel way better than him. Yeah, but you don't do nothing else. You can't even pass the ball around. I need somebody to run my floor, keep my team in check, get everybody involved. It's not you. I need somebody to dribble out the clock. Exactly. I knew they were going to cheat me when I saw that car hit me. That car was about to hit a U-turn to come hit. So this is my constant. This car was made for this. No.
Jeez.
I don't want to hit that car. I can't ride there so much. I want an actual rig set up. There's 3 rigs I want to set up, to be honest. I want the plane rig, I want a car rig, and I want a net. Played a few VR games, they're not bad. You want to know their problem? First of all, they have no control. Secondly, they're only using the brake. They're not using the hand brake. I am going to use Bell. Go straight to Bell. Stay in your lane. I don't know why I thought something else should be. This is fail slave 2. Get right up into it. Okay.
I've seen that car before.
Did y'all know there's such thing as gaming addiction? Some people are crackheads. I game all the time. Like, all the time. One of my favorite pastimes. But I'm not a gaming crackhead. Gaming crackhead. Tell you about a gaming crackhead. First of all, gaming crackheads play a lot of free-to-play games. They're the ones that gotta play the new free-to-play games. And then they do crackhead shit. In order to get wins, in order to get the high of winning, they spend money in a free-to-play game. It's the reason Fortnite makes so much money. It's the reason Apex makes so much money. Games like Marvel Rivals. The only way they get the higher win is by spending 20 bucks. You spend 20 bucks, you get the currency, and even though they don't say it, I've experienced enough. I play Apex Legends 7 years, and the only thing holding me back is a paywall. They get a buff, or not even a buff. People get put in lower lobbies. Their chances of winning increase when they spend money. You might win, like, out of your next 10 games, you'll win maybe 4, 5. And then after that 10 games, you go back to winning, 1, 2 games out of 10. Right? Because they got to create the necessity for you to spin. Skins don't help you win the game. They tell you, skins don't mean shit. But now that you itching for a win, you're like, man, last time I spent that $20, I won more games. So you want that high again of winning, turning you into a crackhead. I think the more money you spend, the more wins you get, because it kind of works like that. That's why it's called addictive gaming. Politicians don't have it all wrong. They don't got it all right neither, but now you're a fiend, you gotta get that win, you gotta get that win. I got another 20 bucks. You got any more than wins? And people end up spending a ton of money on a free game. free game, free to play. A feeling for winning. You know, and the only way you get this feeling, this high, is by spending money in the game. That's why they like, is this skin pay to win? Is this pay to win? It's not the skin. It's the way you can manipulate the numbers. You can manipulate a game. Not the skin. It's the money you pay. It's a lot of people that's like, just the mentality of people. We know the mentality of people. I just spent $50 in this game. I better win. And just so that you keep winning or you keep paying, they let you win. Because you just spent $50. It's like a prostitute. Okay, this bitch some money. Better stuff like this. You know? And it creates the mentality. It creates a crackhead mentality. That's why people get addicted to strip clubs. Throw this bitch a few dollars, she take a top off. I like titties. Now they want to go because they get the satisfaction. They believe that they can throw money at everything. I throw some money, bitch is supposed to take a top off. They become addicted to this club. It's $10 bitches and let you see some titties. If you're lucky, $20 to let you motivate. But they create the crackhead. You know? And that's why they said some kids are addicted to gaming. Mama, I need some more VC. I do the dishes. I cut the lawn. Come on, baby. I just need a little bit of that VC. That's the equivalent of sucking dick. Sucking your parents' dick. I'll do some chores. What you need, mama? Daddy. Come on, daddy. I'll help you build that shed, daddy. I need that VC. Then game companies become addicted to the money. And now they set themselves up for failure. For example, Fortnite can't shut down, even though pretty soon they're going to be on the decline. They're technically already on the decline. But they can't shut down. They took too much money. Go to the beehive. That's why a lot of free-to-play games can't shut down. Fortnite made $1 billion gajillion in the past 10 years. Now, all those people that pay for them skins and all this extra shit, if Fortnite shut down tomorrow, people gonna want their money back. And then Fortnite gonna ruin the gaming industry for free-to-play, the rest of the free-to-play games by saying it's free, it was free to play. You know, nobody told you to spend the money. So even when they start operating at a loss, they have to stay open. But, you know, games like Fortnite, but free-to-play games. I said this once, I'll say it again, and I'm going to say it right now. Women is the reason that the gaming industry is the way it is now. A lot of women who grew up without it was the you can't tell me shit to pick a particular crowd of women as to why it is the way it is. And that game and the women that changed it was Candy Crush. Once your mama, your grandma, started paying for lives in Candy Crush, this shit became normal. Because they didn't want to listen to the motherfuckers that play the game all day. All you do is play that damn game. But motherfuckers like, you've been gypped. You're not supposed to pay for lives in video games. You gain the point, you gain the lives. Where the fuck did that come from? That card. You gain points, you gain lives. That's how it works. And shut up, you don't know what you're talking about. You just told me I play the game too damn much. All I do is play that damn game. All I do is mind my business, sit in my room and play my game. But you don't want to listen to the person that all they do is sit in their room, play the game. And because Candy Crush made so much money off of it, game companies started imitating the model, imitating the strategy. It went from paying for lives to paying for skins. And Candy Crush and women ruined gaming. Now, where's Candy Crush? Where's all that time and effort you put into it and money? Right? Can't tell people shit. And that was down the decline of good games. They realized these ladies are single parents or don't have anybody in their life that can tell them shit. And in essence, their kids are going to grow up the same way because mom thinks it's normal. So the next attack was on the kids. Fortnite literally attacked the kids and pushed that on the kids. Then once they got the kids, they like these kids gonna grow up to be teenagers. And then they started putting it in the sports game. Motherfuckers paying $10 for a do-rag, for an in-game do-rag. And they're here nappy as shit. Man, nigga, you ain't got no waves in real life. The fuck yo, my player need to fucking do-rag. Making all fancy. Shut your dumb ass up. Go to school. And now you got games like Apex. Certain shit, it's just that's grown ass man and somebody that know better. I just don't stand for it. And that's one thing I don't stand for. The whole point of a home console was to avoid spending all the money at arcade. I'm not gonna turn my home console into an arcade machine. You know, everything has its operating price, but the price for a home console should be significantly less than running an arcade machine. For example, you buy coffee that you can make at home, so you don't spend $8 on a cup of coffee at Starbucks every day. You know, the coffee packs still cost like $20-25. The individual packs that you put in the machine, it costs $20-25. But that lasts for a month versus $8 a day for coffee. So why the fuck every time you turn on Fortnite, you dropping $20 into the tank like it's a car? Because you're addicted. Good games make money. Good games keep companies alive. End game. Like, what's the end game? Like, isn't the end game to make money? No, the end game technically is to have a successful business. A successful business will always bring in income. No. But I use NBA 2K as an example. NBA 2K. Let's do the math. Give me my calculator. Clear my history. NBA 2K. And first week, they sell 1 million copies, right? 1 million times $80. That's $80 million. 2K always they always sell at least 1 million copies in their first week. And that's just the standard edition. $80 million. I thought the goal was to make money. $80 million ain't enough money. Every year, they on 2K26 right now. $80 million times 26. I don't even know what E9 means. It's a 2.08 E9. It broke the calculator. And they don't have money. They're charging people for VC. And that's just that's just using first week sales for 26 years, not the whole lifespan of the game. Thought the end game was making money. $80 million in a week. Every year for 26 years. And they got the nerves to charge people in-game for in-game currency. Like they're not making any money. The video game company making as much money, like, what's the average salary in the NBA? They making LeBron James
The average
money.
NBA salary is approximately $11.9 million for the 2024-25 season.
$11.9 million is the average salary for a season in the NBA. They're making more money than NBA players every year. And they charging for VC. They make more money in a week than the average NBA player makes in a year. And you think this is okay? It's not a free-to-play game. They're not a small developer. They're not a starting developer who needs the help. This is an established company with an established product. Do you understand me? GTA is estimated to make $1 gajillion its first week. Now imagine if they make $1 gajillion their first week and then they got the nerve to add fucking currency, in-game currency that requires real world money. GTA Online was good. They gave you a lot of free DLC, except that game lasted for like 10 years. Personally, I don't got nothing against the way they did it. They gave you a lot of free shit, and they like, look, for those that don't have the time to sit here, because you can still make a lot of in-game money, you know, without needing to pay. But they're like, you know, for those that can't sit here and grind. Oh, this is not the car I wanted. I wanted the Lambo. They can't sit here and grind. It's fine. You know, this will help you keep up. But it's not a necessity that you pay the in-game currency. You don't need to pay in-game currency to get the free DLC. You don't need to pay in-game currency to get none of the cool shit. Just run a few heists, run a few missions, and you'll be fine. The problem was the community. What do I mean by the community? You got a more likely chance of getting blown up by an oppressor than sitting there and getting somebody to join your heist. But certain games just have bad community. It's the environment. Which brings me to another thing in a second, but it's the environment. GTA and Call of Duty. It's something about their environment that it breeds. It's something just not cool. You know? And like, I don't know. Cause Call of Duty, it has a toxic environment. Can't sit here and tell me you don't. Can't sit here and tell me you don't. Same thing with GTA. GTA, I think it's the A thing. Like, GTA, it's not their fault as a company. I can say that. Call of Duty, I think they encourage the bullshit. But it's not GTA's fault because GTA is an M for mature game. M for mature. It's supposed to be 18 and up to play. And I could get, you know, at that age, some people aren't as developed as they should be. Not saying all, but some people aren't. Now, Call of Duty is I don't think that's M for mature. I think that's PC. I gotta double check. It might be M for mature. But Call of Duty is widely accepted amongst the younger generation. What is Call of Duty ESRB rating? Think of it.
The Call of Duty franchise is almost exclusively rated M for mature, 17+. ESRB is violence, blood, and gore, strong language. Some mobile or spin-off titles carry a E for teen rating.
So it's M for mature. But that's because of the story. You know? But it's more widely accepted for kids for some reason. Which is why the lobbies are so immature. You know, GTA different. That's why I'm not against age verification. I always said, what's the point of asking for all my information? Date of birth and all of this shit if you're gonna put me in a lobby with kids. Now, it's one thing if your parents allow you to play, But you know, you should be able to. I don't think kids should be in lobbies with adults. To begin with, we gotta have a safe place for the kids. We gotta have a safe place for the adults. I should be able to say titties and not have to worry about saying titties because there's some little kid in the fucking lobby. You know, there's no reason that, like a game with Call of Duty, a grown man, you know, in his 20s, should be telling a 12, 13-year-old, suck my dick. Like, we know kids have, some parents don't give a shit. They don't, because some parents don't know. You know, they don't get it. They like, here, sure, little motherfucker, you wanted it, so sit your badass down in one spot. You need to hear the fuck is Call of Duty. You know? But if your child has a child profile and you allow your child to play, I just think that they should separate them. Because it's not like game companies don't know. They know. Because they know who they're targeting and who they're marketing to. You can tell by events and shit. They know who play their fucking game. So, just, if you're gonna allow the kid account to play because their parents give them permission, if it's still a kid account, put them in kid lobbies. I would even suggest creating a kid-friendly mode. Like, I don't know, last like Warzone. I don't remember Warzone necessarily having a lot of blood. See more blood in Apex. You can change out blood with paint. Change out bullets with paintballs. Just because of the age limit. You know, you water it down and put them all in the same fucking lobby together. It's a kid account. Let them have fun, but you know, you gotta 4-kids it or censor it for the kids, like G.I. Joe. G.I. Joe, you know, when they shoot down planes, it's always people parachuting down because they can't show death. You know, they can't show bullets, so everybody shoots lasers. That's why lasers became big. You know, laser guns, because they can't show people getting shot by a gun. It's not a gun, it's a laser. Pew, 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 pew. That's why you hear kids go pew. Instead of bang. Pew, pew. Because it's lasers. Star Wars, they go lasers. That's why they have lasers. Motherfuckers not walking around with a fucking machine gun. They walk in with a machine laser. You know, like, I do believe certain games, like Call of Duty, do have its perks. So it's, you gotta understand, you know, you gotta, I think there should just be a thing for that. Like Mortal Kombat is rated M for mature because of the blood and gut. But, you know, I could play Soul Calibur and it's rated T for teen because there's no blood. Even though we're chopping each other up with very sharp weapons. This year I was gonna go back on GTA for something. I forgot what it was. And I had to finish out that thought. But yeah, Call of Duty, like, it's a great team building exercise. High pressure environment. It requires fast thinking. It requires problem solving. And it requires teamwork. You know, if utilized properly, it can create a team-oriented person. That's why I don't like games that are violent. Like, you know, it's a level of violence where you don't emphasize teamwork. Because again, kids do get their hands on the shit. You know, kids do get their hands on the shit. So you want to make sure that just anybody, at the end of the day, you're building proper skills. And the skill isn't just war games. It's community. It's collective work and responsibility. That's why looter shooters now, like Marvel Rivals, Overwatch, everybody have a role. You know, you're a healer, you're a tank, you know, your support. What is your role? And how does your role affect team composition? So things like that's important. You gotta make sure you have. So I don't like games that, like a Warzone, Apex, that outside of the story mode, they want you to go solo. You know? Now if you emphasize in story mode, I get it. You know, you want the option to go solo. But if you're up here just, like, you know, go kill somebody, it becomes a little iffy and choppy for me. Like, I don't know about all of that. We have a responsibility to these kids. You know, that's why 2K, I don't even fuck with 2K no more. The responsibility they should have as a company. One is not to take advantage of people. And two, as a basketball game, they don't teach you shit about basketball. What do I mean? Next time you play a game of 2K, or you want some, you play against the computer, look at how the computer plays. What I mean by that is the computer don't switch up defenses, they don't switch up offenses, they don't do anything for you to be like, oh, they're in the 2-3 zone. Here's how I break the 2-3 zone. They're in the 3-2 zone. Here's how I break the 3-2 zone. They're in the full court. Here's how I break the full court. Like, they don't teach you shit about basketball. But you could pay $20 for a fucking do-rag. They might have a few offensive sets you could run, but they don't teach you when to run a certain set. Like in practice and shit, they run through drills. Like, here, run through these drills. Like, y'all nigga, we not doing this for real. I don't gotta run through these drills. Here's what you should be. You should be teaching situational awareness in these practice modes. What we're gonna work on is situational awareness. The defense is gonna be in a full court. Here's how you beat the full court press. Have you filling out all the spots in the full court press. So no matter what position you play, you understand where you need to be in order to beat the full court press. They don't do shit like that. Because the video game is made to stimulate the mind. They're not stimulating the mind. At least in theory, a person that plays a sports game should understand the game. Like, I used to play 2K because I played a lot of basketball. And I'm like, put that team in my hand, they're a championship team. Coach don't know what he's doing. But now a lot of kids don't even know basketball. Watching fucking 2K. Sometimes 2K clips or streams come across some shit. And I'm watching motherfuckers doing backflips and splits. Niggas shoot up a shot, and now they dropping it like it's hot. Okay, bust it open for 2K. You a baddie. They out here busting it open for a real nigga. Hey, I thought y'all came out here to gang. I here dropping it low for that cash, for that V-Buck, that CC. You a baddie. Say I'm a liar. Then they wonder why the NBA is going to shit. Everybody make fun of Swaggy P for shooting the shot, turning around, celebrating in the air ball. But that's the culture they're building, though. That's the culture they're building, though. It's not healthy. It's not healthy at all. But that's what happens when you can't tell women shit. That's what happens when kids grow up without dad. Just don't know any better. It used to be a time where, you know, you couldn't even let your follow through hand, your shot hand, hang too long. Why are you supposed to follow your shot? Follow your shot and or get back on defense. You know, certain things just don't work for me. I remember one time we were in practice and everybody, it was, we missed like 3 open layups in a row, and our big man, he came through and he put it back in with a dunk. Right? It's actually a good putback, solid, clean. Everybody, oh, they lose their mind. Oh, running around the gym like fucking jackasses. You know what coach made us do? That motherfucker made us run laps the rest of the fucking practice. It's just certain things you don't do in basketball. Especially if you want to play at an elite level. First of all, you gotta act like you've been there, nigga. It's basketball. So when people, all the fucking time, like, nigga, you don't play basketball? I've been crossed, he's been crossed, he's been crossed, he's been crossed, she's been crossed, she's been crossed. It's basketball. This shit happens. Motherfuckers get dropped. Fuck out of my face. Get your ass back on defense. It happens. People get dumped. It happens. It's the game of basketball. Act like you've been there before. You know, not saying that it ain't some nasty crossovers or you ain't seen some nasty dunks, but it's the game of basketball. Made our ass run the rest of the fucking practice. Fuck wrong with y'all. Y'all just missed 3 open layups. How the fuck are they so open on 3 fucking layups? Ain't nobody playing defense. Y'all can't hit a fucking layup, and now y'all want to act like asses. Okay. Everybody laps. As a matter of fact, I don't even think we ran laps. No, we ran laps. Okay, I think he made us run the stairs. Like our first 2-3 weeks of conditioning, we ain't do nothing but run and run up and down the stairs. We had a 3-story building. Run to the top, run back to the bottom, run to the top, run back to the bottom. Never forget that shit. No. And I always hated shit like that. Like, it's basketball. Act like you've been there before. Act like you've seen it before. This shit happen every day. You know, you talk about it after the game. You talk about it after everybody done. You know, GG. He crossed your ass, though. Hey, shut the fuck up. I was there, nigga. You know? But that's after the game. Now they putting celebrations in fucking 2K. Like, this is basketball. Then they wonder, like, the next generation of basketball players is going to be ass.
I think we've got ourselves a racer here.
I think they did this on purpose to kind of let LeBron legacy linger a little bit. The last good player we saw was LeBron James draft class. That's the last time we saw good players. Because those kids grow up to be adults. Can't play fucking ball. They never learn to play fucking ball. You know? And I solved 2K problems a long time ago. Same thing with Need for Speed. Like, Need for Speed is a little stuck. Need for Speed Unbound, it's a little stuck. I solved this game problems too. Like going future and forward. But 2K, what they need to do, what they should do, is what should they do? Oh, focus on DLC. First things first, take out all that My Park shit and all that shit for the My Player. Strictly focus on an NBA career. As an extra mode, you could probably do your rec center or whatever. But for my player, keep it strictly NBA. That solves a lot of bullshit to begin with. You can keep the rec center or the My Park shit as a separate mode from My Player. Secondly, focus on DLC versus BC. I said keep my players strictly NBA. I create a player, I get drafted into the NBA. I play my career in the NBA. That's my player. Standard out the box. I don't want to skate. I don't want a story. Fuck that shit. I just want to play basketball. I don't want you to push a narrative. DLC is where you push a narrative. There's 5 positions: point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center. That's 5 DLCs at $20 a piece, $25, giving you between $100 and $125 extra a year. On top of the $80, the $80 that you already charge the person. Now you could give me a narrative. As DLC, you could give me a story. Shit, you could put me on a fucking team with Airbud, and now I'm playing basketball with a fucking dog for all I care. Because it's not mandatory. Extra content. All these sports games, all these sports movies they can imitate. Like Mike, the one with Kevin Durant, Space Jam. You can even do a fucking Space Jam. But, personally, I would center each DLC around each position. 5 positions, 5 different DLCs. The DLC centered around the point guard should teach me all the fundamentals I need to be a good point guard. On both sides of the ball, offense and defense. Same thing with the shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and the center. If I like playing center, like, ooh, of course I'm going to gravitate to the center one. Like, let's see what's the story for the center. You know? But it should teach me how to have overall a great post to mid game. Depending on my build, I might be able to step out. But going through the story and going through the DLC, I should come out a better player at that position. Like, motherfucker, you should give me a fucking Space Jam story. I don't give a fuck. I'll go play Space Jam as DLC.
Dispatch, we got ourselves a racer here.
But there's no way I should create a my player and I gotta go play basketball with Bugs Bunny before I step foot in the NBA. This is NBA 2K, motherfucker. I came to create a player that represents me to play into the fucking NBA. I didn't come to play with fucking Bugs Bunny. I didn't come to play Tony Hawk. Need for Speed. This game, the reason I haven't bought any DLC, because DLC is based around cars and decals. Well, at times I'm like, I can use some more decals. I'm not paying $20 for decals. I don't care. I'm not a gearhead. I'm not a car person, so I don't really care for extra cars. No, unless they're licensed cars. I wouldn't mind driving around in a Batmobile or a Mach 5 or something. Maybe the Black Beauty. I can't say Dukes of Hazzard. Viper from the movie Viper. Kit from Knight Rider. I wouldn't mind that as a car DLC. But I think I did the research and they got about 22 games in the Need for Speed franchise. They could take 5 to 7 courses per game to create DLC. Here's the Hot Pursuit pack. It's, even though we're on a different map, it's the same course though. They could jack races from their old game and put them in their new game.
Eyes on that driver.
You're not even getting yourself off. You're not even beating your own dick. You're not even feeling yourself right now. You don't have to give a fucking remake. You just gotta give that taste of nostalgia. They put right now, Need for Speed Unbound, the Underground DLC. Need for Speed Underground DLC. Somebody would be like, huh? What about Need for Speed Underground? Some of your favorite courses from Need for Speed Underground. And that's just for like little packs. You know, $15 for that, for 7 races, that's not bad. And that's not even talking about DLC. As again, where imitation is one of the greatest forms of flattery, you could give me a story mode where, like, I could go to something like this, and instead of a meetup, it's a story hub, where the story right here is gone in 60 seconds. This story right here is Fast and Furious. This story right here is Speed Racer or something. Wacky Racers. You know? Like, they could actually go cinematic with it. Where you gotta beat the race, you gotta beat the time, you gotta beat the course, whatever it is. Complete certain objectives. They can actually go cinematic with certain shit by having, like, again, this is an open world driving game. It's more, Need for Speed Unbound is more than just racing. So when I could go here, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do the whole Gone in 60 seconds where we watch the cinematic, like they're stealing cars or we're getting shot at, you know, like they could do a cinematic thing. But no, let's give them some more stickers. The DLC don't even come with new races.
Dispatch, looks like we have ourselves a racer here.
It don't even come with new courses for me to drive, whether solo or with other people. So, gaming needs me. I just don't know who to talk to. Just don't know who to talk to. Anyway, GG. Good game, Gap Game. GapGames.com. Talk about it.